About the only thing beachy about me is the wave in my hair today.
Beachy.
Hey everyone, it's Cathy Zielske. Welcome back to my channel and my studio. Today I have the cutest little beach umbrella dies and stencils. You don't have to be super beachy to use a product like this and just do something a bit different with it. I'm going to create a really fun birthday card today featuring some products from Waffle Flower Crafts. And when you see this cute little beach umbrella, you might want to get more beachy than me, but I love how this turned out. So to see my card project, stick around. It's coming up next. Here's a look at the products I'll be creating with today, and the star of this card is going to be this fun trio of umbrella dies. And the cool thing is there is a stencil that you can use for all three sizes. It's just a mini stencil, and this is going to be how I create the tops of my umbrellas. I think this is so cute, and I'm excited to show you how this works. I also have this wave texture die. So this can be beachy themed, but also I think this is just really cool as a texture in general. I have some stamps here, and I thought I would make a birthday card. Rather than do like a beach theme, I'm going to use beach theme imagery, but to make a birthday card. I've got a couple inks, and I've got some of these fun candy dots that are going to be used for the tops of my umbrellas. So these are the basics. Let's get started ink blending to create our umbrellas. So I've got my waffle flower grip mat. I've got a smaller grip mat, and I've just cut a few pieces of my Nina Classic Crest Solar White in the 110 to be about 3.5 inches wide. I just wanted it to be a little wider than what I am going to be ink blending on. So I'm going to pop this down here, just seal that down. Now on this little guy, there's a little arrow that points down. And if you can use that to just line up your little friend, but it also shows you where, I think, where the top is, because in these dies, each one, and it's hard to see, it's here somewhere, has this tiny notch. Can you see that? And that is the top. So what I'm going to do is just seal this down, right? Love how you can seal it down on here. I think this will stay just fine. I'm just going to actually grab a little low-tack tape just to keep the bottom also sealed in place like that. All right. And then I'm going to just create two colors on each umbrella. So I'm going to be using these two ink colors. I've got this puffy heart color, and that's going to start in the center. And we're going to start darker and then blend it out a little. So darker in the center like that, right? I want it to really show up. And then I'm just going to come out. Just like that into each one. Picking up that ink right off my mat. Like that. And of course, the two colors that I'm using, they are going to work beautifully because they follow on the rainbow, right? So we're going basically red into orange. My version of red is pink, and my version of orange is this chamomile color. Okay. And here, I'll tap a little, and we're going to come from the outside in. Just blend those together. I guess I did get that a little dark right there, but I think it'll still look pretty good. And now what we're going to do is we're going to repeat this 2 more times, because you do the same basic idea, but I'm going to try to create a smaller blend area because these get smaller as you go, right? So that's what we're doing. Like that. I wonder if I could soften that out a bit. Usually, yeah, just blend over it like that. Don't ever give up on your blends. Just keep going. They'll be fine. So that is the first blend. And I'll lift this up. Oh, like that. And that is what we have. Now, I can also add my little center here. And let me grab my small brush. I'm going to use the Waffle Flower Shader 0 and just hold it right over the center. Pick it up. Make sure we're kind of blended in there nicely. And blend a center. Now, this is a nice thing to do for your umbrella tops, but I'm also basically going to be covering these up, I think, with my little gems, my little adhesive dots. But I just wanted you to see how that little friend works to add a center to the piece. All right, so I'm going to speed this up and do 2 more to show you how I'm going to try to create a smaller and smaller blend area as we go. Oh, but I am going to clean off my stencil each time with a little alcohol, just so that it doesn't transfer any ink where I don't want it. All right, now we'll go. Okay, so now I have 3 blends and each one is a little bit tighter than the next. So let me get the dies in place and show you how we're going to cut these out. So now I've got my little die here and there's a little, I think you can see it on this side. See that little notch right there? That tells me to line it up at the top, right? And once that's up there and that's right there, I think I'm going to be good to go. So putting that on at the top, and I'm going to run this through and cut my first one out. Okay, I'm going to run it through. And now I have got my little magnetic wand here that I use. And there is my first umbrella. Oh, so cute. All right. And then you just work your way down with the ones that you blended. And again, this also has the notch. So here, obviously, I just notch it a little closer, right? Like you're going to see where that goes. It splits the line. And now I'm going to run this through. And again, pick that up. By the way, this is, for those of you who've watched my channel, you know I've started using this. It's a nail polish wand for using when you do magnetic polishes. I don't do magnetic polishes, but it's for creating a tiger eye look, right? Because the polish will have a pigment. You hover wet over your wet polish and it goes and it pulls it all in. But I realized when I found this, I was cleaning, I'm like, this is going to be great for picking up dyes. Because I always say jewels, not tools, right? So the more you can use tools and not your jewels, I guess your manicures last longer. Okay, now here again, you just line up. The little notch is right at the top. And you can see that smaller blend area. And again, we're going to run it through. And now we have, see, it just goes boop, so easy. I love it. Okay, so now I've got my 3 umbrellas. While my machine is out though, I think I'm going to die cut my panel using the wave texture die. I need to go cut a piece of cardstock though, because I do not have one handy. So let me grab that cardstock. So I've cut this piece of cardstock down to be 4 by 5 1/4 because I think that's what I want. And I don't know, do I want to, well, I guess I will. You know what, let me pick it up this way, because what I would like to do is not have the pattern all the way at the top, or do I? You know what, let's just try it. Let's just go just like that. I'm going to pop this a bit at an angle so it doesn't take the full brunt of my machine. And again, let's run it through. Surprisingly, this thing also will pick up. It's just really strong. Okay, yeah, that looks great. That looks great. So there's my panel, and I will take you and set you aside. Also want to point out something about my plates here. This is why I love my Impress die cut machine. I've been cutting for weeks, months with these plates, and they just don't warp. So if you're looking for a decent electronic machine, I love this one because of the lack of plate warpage. Okay, so now I have my panel, and let me grab my little dots, because I thought this would be really cute to put some of these candy dots, which I have had these sitting in a stash, as I am wont to do, right? And I think that color right there would look so cute. So I'm just gonna pick this up with my little pokey tool here, slide you into place, and press. Now the centers are the same regardless of the umbrella size, so that's kind of fun. You could put smaller ones on, but I like the idea that they're all the same, even though the umbrellas are not. These are pretty. And they're backed with a white label, so you're not even going to see through them. They just add a little bit of cute color to the top. All right, I need to figure out a greeting, however, so let me get a little more white cardstock, because I think I'm going to do it on white as well. I'm going to do some sort of arrangement like this, and I'm going to pop each of these tops of these umbrellas on a different layer of dimension. And I kind of just want to make a really basic happy birthday to you. These are such, well, filled with birthday wishes and lots of love. Wishing you a happy birthday. I mean, they're all really cute goodies for the birthday girl. Well, that would be fun, because I feel like I do a lot more from like my sisters-in-law and my daughter, but they're all very cute. Honestly, maybe I'll do a couple. Why not? I'm going to do the basic happy birthday to you. Okay. I'll put one here, and then I'll just, I can stick one in the old bin of things that could be used in a pinch if I run out. Okay, there we go. Of greetings, which, let's be real, I'm never going to run out of greetings. Oh, that's the beauty of card making. Okay, I've got my Misty here, and I do have another grip mat that I keep in my Misty. And I wash this probably once a week, depending on how many cards I make, because whenever I use my anti-static powder, the powder inevitably gets on the mat and lowers its stick. Now, I'm going to prime my stamps with my little Altenew stamp conditioning eraser. I've mostly used my finger for this in the past, but I got one of these and thought, well, I'm going to see, does it really take the coating off? And that's just for new stamps, right? Not for old stamps. Once you stamp, your stamps are going to get conditioned, but this is just first out of the gate kind of deal. All right. And it makes them kind of dull, but of course, fingers do the same. All right, I've got anti-static powder, and I'm going to put that on my cardstock because I've been handling it. There's always oils in your fingers. This is the same cardstock. I just kind of stick with the same thing time and again. I've got my Versamark pad. This is clear embossing ink. Just going to ink these up really well. And slide you out of the way. Bring this down. And I've got my little Stampin' Bug. Just adding pressure. And I'm going to do it twice. And again, we'll just use whichever one looks best. Okay. And transfer. Give that ink a second. All right, let me grab my folded piece of paper. I will clean these in a second. I just want to make sure this all stamped well, because sometimes I don't know until, well, you don't know until you get there. All right, I've got Brutus Monroe Gilded. It's a really lovely powder. And we'll just sprinkle you on like that. Oh, that's going to be great. Okay. One more coat for good measure. Looks great. And I will just funnel this back into the jar. Like that. I keep a Swiffer, little Swiffer cloth, you know, the kind that go in the thing. I just keep it right by my desk. I punch a hole in one end and I hang it on a hook so that I can clean up easily, because then I can keep using this folded paper until it, well, usually what happens is I run over it with my office chair. That's, there you go. The more you know. All right, let me get my heat tool warmed up and we'll melt the powder. And those look gorgeous. Look at that. Look at that. Not an errant speck of powder anywhere. So I am going to grab the coordinating dies. I will cut these out, and then I will also cut a couple extra, well, maybe one extra layer just to have a little more dimension. So I'll do that real quick off camera and we'll continue. Actually, I just wanted to show you before I move on. I just wipe the stamps clean with my damp Lawn Fawn stamp chamois, and they're ready to go right back onto the packaging. And let's see how we did. Even with the tape, we'll pick these up. Oh, they look great. There's that. I love that it has a nice generous margin. So I have two to choose from. I feel like that would be really cute there because it really will fit into my plan. So I'll cut out some extras to shore this up and we'll move on. All right, just take a little liquid glue here and add this heavier layer to the greeting just to give it a little more heft. I'm probably going to use foam squares too, although I might not. I might decide to just add one more layer. Sometimes you don't know, right, until you get there, but we're just going to drop it down like that. Pick it up, wiggle it into place. That's why we love our liquid glue. And we will put a brick on that. I think I'm going to do one more layer, so I'll do that really quickly off camera, and then I'll grab some cardstock for our base. Glued on this second layer. Here's a reason I love having swatch rings for cardstock, because when it's time to start saying, hey, what would be a good note card base for this? You can bring in different colors, right, and see how they might look. And I actually feel like Sweet Pea might be a really nice color for this, or do I want, and this is, I have several cardstock rings, or do I want to do more of a buttercup? Ooh, I think buttercup might be good for this. Let me, oh boy, or sunflower. My yellows always look really weird on camera, but you'll have to trust me, they look better than you think. I think I'm going to cut myself some buttercup as my base for my note card. And the thing is, you're not even going to see that much of it on the front of the card. So this is 11 inches by 4 1/4. we will score right at 5.5. Okay. To create a top folding note card, I have to show you something that I bought. I don't know how I feel about it, but I was inspired by my friend Ralph Tyndall, who's got an awesome TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. And I ordered myself a self-inking stamp for the back of my card, but I don't really know how to, well, no, that looks really good. That's it. I just wanted to show you that. So now we fold this over, and I oftentimes do that last. I don't do it at this point, but I don't know. I got one because sometimes I got tired of using my actual stamp because I always got ink on everything, but it's big and it takes up a lot of space. So yeah, some people, that's your thing. Okay, we're going to press with our Teflon bone folder, and I'm actually going to tape this closed so that it stays where it needs to stay, which is closed. All right, so now you can kind of get the vibe here, right? We're popping that on. You know, I almost feel like I could cut this down a little further. So let me grab my waffle flower A2 layers dies, because I think I want to have a slightly larger margin, and that's the margin that I'm looking for. So this is my 3 3/4 by 5. I'm going to pop you up, and I'm going to run that through, and we'll trim that down, well, right about, let's see, right about there. So I get a little on the top and the bottom. All right, I'll go ahead and cut that out. Putting some thin foam tape. This is the Simon Says Stamp Big Mama roll, which my Big Mama roll is getting smaller. But I like to have a little pop up. But because other things are going to be popped up, I don't need it to be the tallest card of all time. And this has a nice thin loft. So put that right on the back like that. And we'll get the backers off. And I'll pop this onto my note card. Come on now, backer. Come on. There you go. All right, and I think I want it to go that way with those 2 dips there and the 3 at the bottom. So I'm going to stand up here, look right down over the top. Forgive my little head here, or my big head. It's not little. And we'll pop that down. Okay, now what I want to do, I think we're going to go in a direction. Oh, see, I like that popping into, or do I want it to be the white popping into? So that's what I can't decide yet, because that has a little bit of contrast. I'm going to do this in layers, and this one is going to go right to the edge. This is going to pop up. I'm not sure now. Now I feel like it needs to go that way. Okay, we're going right in. This is going to pop here. And this will pop the highest of all right there. So we're having our little cluster, but I want to get that back to how I had it before, because I want those to go like that. Takes a minute. I'm not really known for my umbrella arranging, but I think they're so cute. And then goodies, yeah, see, I still think it has to come up higher like that. Okay. Because I want that to be positioned there. All right, so you come down, you'll go up. I think this one is going to go down first, and then I'll get 2 different depths of foam tape or squares to do this. So let me grab those. See, there's a lot that goes into cards sometimes, right? You know, you don't know until you get there. And this one's going to go right onto the note card with some liquid glue, okay? And we're going to say you are going right there. Okay. I'll just hold that in place for a second. I love the liquid glue because it does lets you wiggle. Now I could have thickened this one up too, but I do think this is going to be nice to have the layers of dimension the way I am envisioning this, because the next one here, this is going to do thinner. So let's make sure, again, I like this idea that this is going to pop like that. Okay, so we're going to flip you over and take these on the outside because I don't want them to be awkwardly placed so that this doesn't have the same, I don't want this to stick up. There we go. Although, you know what? Maybe I should have another one in there. How about we go right in the center here? The fine art of layering. And then for this guy here, he or she, I don't know why he suddenly became a he, this is going to go the tallest, and I want this to have these, which are the thicker ones. All right, we'll put a few here. We'll see if that gives us the loft that we need. Yep. So that way it can overlap. So let's get these off. I am using my jewels instead of my tools because I just think this video is it's getting long, but it's good. You know, it's long, it's good. Okay. Now let's just float you again and see. Make sure you are in the right place. And you guys come out here like that. You know, I could pop it a little more so that was just ever so slightly into that margin. That's kind of cute. Okay. You're coming up. And then you are going to finish up here. So we've got our little guys together. Very fun. And actually, on this one, I could put a thin foam square at the base because this will have enough support and loft coming on the other side. I do a lot of talking to myself when it comes to this part, but again, arranging doesn't always feel like, and that could come, I mean, that can go right into the thing too. We're just margining it up. Okay, and then you are gonna go in there. I think that's really fun. Okay, liquid glue for this. And that's it. I'm not putting any bling on because, right, we have the little dots as our toppers for our umbrellas. So we just get you lined up as if you were made to go right here. Get you straight and press that down. I think that looks really straight. And I'm going to hold that in place. Actually, I'm going to put a brick on it. Just let that adhere. All right, take that off. Now, I think that's really cute just by itself. You could, well, now look at the oranges though. I mean, I could put a couple more on here. The nice thing about these, oh, those oranges work so well too. The nice thing about these is because they've got their own sticky on them, it's really not a big deal. If you place one down and don't press too hard, you can put it right back on your sheet. I'll show you. Because what if I said to myself, all right, I'm going to go one here, just drop it for a second, and one here. I mean, this is kind of funky actually to do that, right? To have a couple like that. I mean, that's kind of cute. I actually like that. But if I don't, I can pick them right up and take them off. But you know what? I think I'm going to leave that on because I actually think, see how you can kind of move them? I think that's really cute. And that gives me 5 little blings here. I'm leaving it. I think that's adorable. And that is my finished card project with my little dimensional umbrella top. So here's a way to take something that is decidedly beachy, but just turn it into a birthday card, right? With a nice generic all-purpose birthday greeting set. And I think that is a really fun card project. You can find links to all of the products I used in today's video in the YouTube description box. If you're not a subscriber, I'd love to have you, so please hit that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss the next time I post. Thanks so much for watching and have a great day. To see more card projects featuring waffle flower crafts, check out the 2 thumbnails I have linked for you below, and I'll see you in those videos.